Hello, my name is Robin B. David. I have been making a series on paranormal phenomena on YouTube. Up till now, I have uploaded 5 parts in this series. Now I am going on to the 6th part. In the 6th part, I will talk about what I have understood recently. Around 6 to 7 months back, I read about a spaceship crashing in Brazil the year 1996, and I read that there were witnesses to that incident, and they saw the pilot of the spacecraft who had come out unhurt. They described the pilot, and there was also a sketch of the pilot. When I saw the sketch of the pilot, I remembered a dream which I had 1.5 years back. In that dream, I saw this creature which was green in color, but it looked exactly like the sketch of the pilot of the spacecraft which crashed in Brazil in the year 1996. So, in my dream, I was screaming and shouting because this entity was trying to come into my house, and in my dream I was screaming and telling people not to let this beast was the entity inside my house, because I was very much afraid of it. So my dream and this report about a crashed spacecraft in Brazil got me interested in researching about spaceships. So just around 2 weeks back, I was reading the Bible, and in the Bible there is a book of Ezekiel, where Ezekiel says that God came to him in a spaceship. So I'll read chapter 1 of what Ezekiel has written. On the 5th day of the 4th month of the 30th year, I, Ezekiel the priest, son of Buzai, was living with the Jewish exiles by the Chebar river in Babylonia. The sky opened, and I saw a vision of God. It was the 5th year since King Jehoiachin had been taken into exile. There in Babylonia, beside the Chebar river, I heard the Lord speak to me, and I felt his power. I looked up and saw a windstorm coming from the north. Lightning was flashing from a huge cloud, and the sky around it was glowing. Where the lightning was flashing, something shone like bronze. At the center of the storm, I saw what looked like 4 living creatures in human form, but each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were straight, and they had hoofs like those of a bull. They shone like polished bronze. In addition to their 4 faces and 4 wings, they each had 4 human hands, one under each wing. 2 wings of each creature were spread out so that the creatures formed a square, with the wingtips touching. When they moved as a group without turning their bodies. Each living creature had 4 different faces: a human face in front, a lion's face at the right, a bull's face at the left, and an eagle's face at the back. 2 wings of each creature were raised so that they touched the tips of the wings of the creatures next to it, and their other two wings were folded against their bodies. Each creature faced all four directions, and so the group could go wherever they wished without having to turn. Among the creatures, there was something that looked like a blazing torch constantly moving. The fire would blaze up and shoot out flashes of lightning. The creatures themselves darted back and forth with the speed of lightning. As I was looking at the four creatures, I saw four wheels touching the ground, one beside each of them. All four wheels were alike, each one shone like a precious stone, and each had another wheel intersecting it at right angles, so that the wheels could move in any of the four directions. The rims of the wheels were covered with ice. Whenever the creatures moved, the wheels moved with them, and if the creatures rose up from the earth, so did the wheels. The creatures went wherever they wished, and the wheels did exactly what the creatures did, because the creatures controlled them. So every time the creatures moved or stopped or rose in the air, the wheels did exactly the same. Above the heads of the creatures, there was something that looked like a dome made of dazzling crystal. There under the dome stood the creatures, each stretching out two wings towards the ones next to it and covering its body with the other two wings. I heard the noise their wings made in flight. It sounded like the roar of the sea, like the noise of a huge army, like the voice of Almighty God. When they stopped flying, they folded their wings, but there was still a sound coming from above the dome over their heads. Above the dome, there was something that looked like a throne made of sapphire, and sitting on the throne was a figure that looked like a human being. The figure seemed to be shining like bronze in the middle of fire. It shone all over with a bright light that had in it all the colors of the rainbow. This was the dazzling light which shows the presence of the Lord. I guess that Ezekiel, the prophet, lived before Jesus Christ came on earth, maybe 2500 years back.